Hey ladies, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This little video here is going to give you an idea of what we're doing with this booking system and why it's 21 days and that it's easy as long as you guys are willing to put some effort and some consistency into it. I believe that with the results that everyone is seeing, that it is going to change our businesses if we let it and if we work it and if we want to. So let's go ahead and get started. We all understand and know that fortune's in the follow-up. If we don't follow up, then we don't have a business usually. We can't wait for it to come to us. I mean, we can, but it doesn't do very much for our business if we're wanting to get consistent and expand in our business, I guess would be a good way to do it. So super successful people don't they aren't any different than us, but they do things different. They have a slight edge over everyone else. It's because they follow up, they do what they need to do. We are going to be working on a simple system that stops leads from falling through the cracks and will let us feel empowered about following up. So first of all, I'm going to give you some statistics that if you haven't heard or seen or read, here you go. They kind of blew my mind. I've heard them over and over again, and I don't know why. It's so hard for me. Well, I am hard-headed, so I guess I do know why it's so hard for me to remember that the fortune is in the follow-up. So 2% of sales and bookings happened on the first contact. Okay, we know that. That's the go-getters. That's the people that immediately want to book. We love them, love them, love them. Then the 3% on the second contact, 4 on the third, 10. Okay, now look at this one here. This one blew me away again. 81% of bookings and sales happen on the 5th contact or after, the 5th touch or after. And here's the sad one. Here's the sad truth about most of us in direct sales, including me. To be honest with you, I'm not talking about anybody else but myself and my business right now. 48% of people only contact once or give up after their first contact. So if you're looking at that, that is a sad statistic if you are waiting for people to come to you for orders. And so we are going to have to get better at following up, and we're going to have to not be afraid of it, because the word fear is only false expectations appearing real. And I am super guilty of allowing what I think others will think of me to get in the way of my business being a rock star business. So this system will consist of essentially a wash, rinse, repeat mentality. It is going to be doing something over and over and over again consistently. We take 30 contacts and split them into 3 groups, groups A, B, and C, and then we call one of those groups of 10 contacts each day for 3 days. If you get a hold of those 10 contacts in that day, you using our call scripts, you can go ahead and you complete the call. You book the party. If you talk to them, you get them in your Hostess of the Month club. Whatever you're going to do with them, if you talk to them, then hopefully you guys complete the call, complete what you were wanting to do, or they tell you no thanks, and then they move into a different space into your calendar. Now, if we don't get a hold of them, we leave a message, and then we text them with scripts also being provided in our team group files, and then we move that contact 3 days ahead. Okay, so here's the example. Day 1, I'm going to pick Monday. It can be a Wednesday. It doesn't matter what day it is, just to have your calendar in front of you and doing it. Monday, I'm going to call, and I'm going to follow up with my first 10 contacts in group A. Okay, so I go through all of them using whatever script I'm working on. If I want to put this 10 people, see if these 10 people want to be in my Hostess of the Month club, then that's the script that I'm going to work off of. So I call them. I don't get answers from 7 of them. Then what I do is I leave a message for them with the call script provided in our files. And then about 30 minutes later, if I don't hear from them, which will probably, to be honest, a lot of people don't return their calls, at all on voicemail because they think only bill collectors, come and call them these days. So you text them with the text script for that group and you text them and say, I just left you a voicemail. I wanted to make sure you knew I did, blah, blah, blah. And then what you do with day 1 is you move whoever is left in there, hasn't given you a no or hasn't given you a yes, you move them to day 4 on your calendar. Group A goes to day 4. Day 2, same thing. Tuesday, I'm going to call, I'm going to follow up, and I'm using group B. Now this group, I want them to come to my bingo. I want them to be a hostess at my bingo. There's a script for that. I do 10 calls that day. No one answers their phone. I do it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so no one's home to answer their phone or they don't want to talk to me. Okay, fine. So what I do immediately is text them about the bingo hostessing, and then I move them down here to day 5 in my calendar. Now, we have a tracker for all of these things. For group A, B, and C, their names, their number, it's in the file, and I'll show you in a minute what it looks like. Day 3, same thing. We're going to go through that list of 10 and we're going to move them to day 6 on our calendar. And it can be Saturday or it can be Monday. Whatever your days are, doesn't matter as long as you're following up with them every 3 days. So when you text or when you call them, that's contact 1. When you text them, that's contact 2. So you're really contacting them. You're touching them twice on day 1. And on day 4, you're touching them again by calling and by texting. So that's 4 contacts, 4 touches that you're taking care of. Now, if you still have 5 people on day 4 from group A that you have not talked to, connected with, or whatever, then you're going to move them to day 7 down here in your calendar, okay? And we have a tracker for it. What they're saying is that by the end of day 7 or by the end of the 5th or 6th touch, usually the statistics are that they have already gotten back to you. And it's actually around the 4th time. So at the end of your day 4 for this, the second time, the second time you've texted and the second time you've called. If you get all the way through this and you've done 6 touches with them, then they move into a whole nother section and the scripts say, I haven't heard from you. I'm so sorry. Life is crazy busy. I'll contact you again in a couple of months. And then we go from there. And you have a tab with a name and a date, and you work through them in a couple of months. They'll pop back up on your calendar. So this is about building a consistent system that is over and over and over again the same. But we are seeing huge results in with the 4th, 5th, and 6th touch. So here we go. Next slide. Okay, so how do you create your lists? If you're new or if you haven't made a list of, your 31 or your 62 in a long time for your 30 contacts, you can use the Frank's list, which is friends, relatives, associates, neighbors, kids, school, and it's a memory jogger that's in our team group files, and you can go through them and do that. Existing customers, people that haven't ordered in a long time or haven't ordered in a long time, or they haven't, you never really contacted them because they were an outside order on a party. That happens a lot with me. Because I didn't connect with them visually, I kind of forget about them. And so someone you met out and about, a referral from a friend, a new contact, from a vendor event. Vendor events for me are huge. I really, unless they said they want to book a party right there or they bought something from me, sometimes they definitely fall through the cracks. And so I have a bunch of those that are on my list. And in the scripts, there is a cold call, long time no see kind of call script and text script for that too. So you have all the tools here. We're just trying to get you consistent and doing this. And the 20-day quote unquote booking blitz is kind of just to get you on track so that you have your own system at that point. Okay, so this is what that tracker looks like. It's the top of it. 1st and 2nd contact, 3rd and 4th contact, 5th, here's their name, phone. Did you call them? Yes. Did you text them? Yes. What were your results that day? Did you leave a message? Here's the date. So if it was Like if it's today, which is Tuesday, the 17th, then we put 5/17. This, and then the next date would be in 3 days. So it would be the 20th, and then it'd be the 23rd. So you call, you text, yes, I left a message, or I got a booking, or she said no, or I need to call back, or they called back. So, and this here, I think I may adapt a little bit. This came from someone else. And so I just started using it, and, I tweak things to fit myself, but it is a Word document. So you can, if you want to work it a different way, you can. You can also use a notebook. Some people are using notebooks to keep up on it. I am actually putting it into my planner and my binder. So I can have it right there when I'm ready to work it, because I put that into my calendar. So, okay, so here we go. So you choose the script you're going to use for the calls and the texts. Look over the calls and text scripts that are in our files. They're going into our files tonight. Different scripts for almost every scenario. One for calling up your friends and family if you're new, one for existing customers, someone you want to host a bingo, someone you met out and about, the hostess club, and contacts that won something from a vendor event there's there, or someone who didn't, but you still wanted to, touch base with them. And so someone that bought something, all of those. And like today we got 2 more added in because someone decided, oh, well, this is an old customer. I haven't talked to him in a long time. And so they wanted a script for that. So I will continue to add them into our files on the team page. Okay, so here we go. This is a little bit of a breakdown. I'm going to do it really quick so it doesn't take too long. So day 1, we're going to make 10 calls using Group A. Start making your calls, and then if you don't talk to them, you send them a text message. So day 1, call the 10 people on your list of Group A, talk to them following the script, or leave a message and then immediately text them using the day 1 text script that's there. Then you move them to day 4. Day 2, same thing. Call your people on your list from Group B using your call script day 2. Talk to them, follow the script, leave a message if you need to, or complete the call. Maybe you booked a party, from some of them. That would be amazing. And then you move them to day 5. Day 3, call in your next group of 10 names out of group, that should be Group C, sorry. And then you're going to move them to day 6. So day 4, make 10 calls. Day 4, you'll be calling Group A again. Now, here's the thing. Let's say on day 4, you have 2 spots left because you booked 2 people, one for a Hostess of the Month club and one for a party. So you've only got 8 on that list, right? So what you need to do is look at your list of contacts, or add to that list of contacts, because some people have a list of 62. Look for new people to add into and to call. So you're always working on 10. And then you're going to move them to a new date, just like you did with the other ones. You want to consistently start to go through your contacts. So you've touched your old customers, touched your old hostesses, and then your calendar is complete, so that you're not feeling like you're always scrambling and desperate for parties or for hostesses or for, your bingo hostesses, whatever it is. You want to feel like you're taking care of them. And when you're calling them, all of your customers, you're calling them, you could call them and say, I just want to check on your warranty. And then you text them to let them know that they have a 90-day warranty. And then if they want to book a party, I know you loved this so much. I would love to help you get some free, some of this some more in this pattern free. You could always do a wine tasting or a chicks and chocolate, something like that. So this is all about getting into a system of calling your contacts every 3 days until or unless you push them to the 2-month, until you book them or put them where you want them to be, or until they say no thanks, and then you push them forward. They could say no. They could say no thanks, don't ever contact me again. But usually if you get a no, then you just say, okay, I'll contact you in a couple months, and then you're good to go. So you'll repeat this 3-day tracking process for 21 days. By the end of 21 days, your calendar should be full. You should be a happy camper, and you should be on your way to earning Dream Rewards at that 1,300 level. And I know that that sounds overwhelming to a consultant that's just joining us or hasn't been very active. But if you follow up with your people and you don't have any fear about calling them and about what that looks like to them, because I will tell you, honestly, if I worry about what other people, that I'm going to be too pushy or that I'm going to be too stalky or whatever, they never think that of me because I'm not that way. So I'm being fearful about something that actually isn't true. And then when I call them or I message them, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you messaged me. I totally forgot. Or I'm so glad you called. I want to book a party, but it won't be until July. But that's okay. I'll put them into July. I'm good with that. So I just want to let you know that this is the system we're working on. This is the call that we're going to be going over. I want to do this with you because I need it for my business. And the only way that someone gets removed from this booking list is if they give you a no thanks, or if she books or places an order with you. When they book a party or create a new sale, you might highlight them like in pink or in yellow, whatever your color is. Don't scratch through their name because we're trying to keep track of how it works. The biggest thing I want to get from this is that this system prevents you from making snap decisions. Like I called them once and they didn't get back to me. Or I texted them and they didn't get back to me, so they really don't want to shop from me. Well, actually, maybe that text didn't go out, or they looked at it and then got 10 more texts and totally forgot about it. So you quit calling because you feel like they don't want to take, that they didn't get back to you, or that they don't value you. And that is not true. It is an assumption, and it is normally wrong. And I think that if we're brave enough to just follow this system and trust it, it's going to turn our business around and it's going to be amazing. So let's go into the Facebook event and answer any questions, and I will start uploading documents. Okay? Thanks, ladies.